Hi guys, my name is Mehdi and today I have another short Keyshot tutorial for you. It's more of an experimentation. As you can see here on my screen, I have a 3D printed piece that I rendered in Keyshot, and I used the geometry node, the displacement node on Keyshot, and then from there I directly saved it as an STL file, and then I sent it to my printer and I printed it out and it turned out pretty good. So I'm about to show you how to do that. Let's begin. All right, so the first thing you want to do, you want to go to your Keyshot, obviously, and you want to look for a model. For my 3D prints, I used this model called Basic Light Fixture. So I'm just going to drag and drop it here, and as you can see, it doesn't have the wooden texture that I showed you earlier. And if you guys want to know where to get these models from, they're free. You can just download them from the cloud library. I've talked about them before. You can check out that video if you want to. And as you can see, we have the model here, and I'm just gonna turn off the light bulb because we don't need it. And again, I'm gonna double click on the material, go to my material graph, and I'm gonna right click on the graph, go to textures, and I can choose any of these textures. You can also use a custom texture if you want to. If you go to the textures menu here, you can get more textures. You can download textures from the cloud library if you want to, or you can just make your own textures in Photoshop and then just drag and drop it. But for today, I'm just gonna use the wooden texture, and I believe I used one here. This one, I used the black walnut texture, so I'm just gonna drag and drop it. I'm gonna hit C to look at the preview, and it looks pretty good. I can change the size if I want to. So let's say 85, which looks smaller. It's pretty good. And I'm just gonna hit C again to exit out of the preview. I'm gonna right click on my material graph, go to geometry and choose displace. I'm gonna connect this to my displace and connect this to my geometry. I can double click on this, and as you can see, the displacement height is 100 millimeters. So let's look at what happens. I've talked about the displacement node before. If you guys want to check out that video, I'm probably gonna put like a little card on top of the video here somewhere. No idea. So this is 100 millimeter displacement height, and I'm gonna bring it down to just 1. And the triangle size, if you decrease the triangle size, you will get a model with a higher resolution. So your resolution will increase if you decrease the triangle size. So I'm going to do 0.01, and I'm going to execute the geometry node. And as you can see, we have the pattern here, but it doesn't show that much. So I'm just going to change the color temporarily. I'm just going to do like some reddish color, like the color red. And as you can see, we have the texture. Now, one thing to be careful about is that when you do apply the geometry node or the displacement node like that, it will apply to all around the model, to everywhere. So if you go down, you can't really see that, so I'm just gonna have to move the model up a little bit. If you go down, you can see that the wood pattern is also at the bottom of our holder. And I ran into a problem where I can't really detach or take off the support from this, because the support actually follows the pattern of the model on your STL file. So what you can do, you can just you can either, like, how do you say, separate the surfaces if you want to, and then don't put the pattern at the bottom of the model. Or you can, for example, use a what was it called? A color composite. I've talked about it before. And then you can use a gradient to black out the bottom of the model, and then the rest of it does have the geometry node on it. So these are just the things you can do. I'm also gonna probably leave another card up there in my video. We've already talked about the geometry node before. You can check it out. And so this is our model. That's basically it. You guys can do whatever you want with your model. And we're gonna export this as an STL file. You can also export it as a 3MF. I've never worked with 3MF, but I've heard it's for like color printers or like more advanced printers, which obviously are less common. So we're just going to export it as an STL. And as you can see, I already have the other holder, so we're just going to save it as a holder 2. And it's going to ask us the model scale, export as single color. Obviously, it doesn't matter because you only have one filament. And export units, doesn't matter, you can change it. You can change the model scale. And that's it, you just export it. And you wait. And for my slicer, I use Cura. You can use whatever you want. I'm going to open the STL, and it's going to import it. And my settings are just the regular ones. And here's the STL. My layer height, that's for a new print that I did, so I'm just going to increase it to 0.2 millimeters. And the rest of it, wall thickness 1.2, and I also changed that, so I'm just going to do 1.2 or something. The infill density is just at 5%, and the pattern is at cubic. The printing temperature 220. I'm printing with PLA, and the plate temperature is 60. We want it to stick really nice, and that's basically it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. You can just leave a comment down there or down below, and I'll answer all your comments. I haven't had time to work on any more Blender tutorials. Let me know if you want to see something that I haven't covered, or if you have any suggestions or anything. I'd appreciate it. And that's basically it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this quick tutorial, and I hope you have a good day. Bye.